That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
And a good Thursday morning to you, fans of the Philadelphia Phillies, who are going to be one of the top 2 seeds in the National League. Probably the 2nd seed. Either way, they have clinched home field advantage for the National League Division Series. Potentially beyond. What we know is that the Phillies are going to be in the postseason again for the 4th straight year. Crazy how in the 130-year history of this franchise, a streak like this is so rare. It's a second golden age of sorts with the Phillies going back to the playoffs. They are one of the National League's best teams. They have hit my preseason prediction of 93 wins with 4 games to play. They look really good. They're playing good baseball at the right time. A couple of guys still to get healthy, but the ones who have gotten healthy have come back and swung the bats really well. I'm talking about Alec, Bohm, and Edmundo Sosa, who looked wonderful in last night's 11-1 thrashing of the Marlins. The Phillies are positioning themselves to be that 2nd seed in the playoffs. And if the season were to end today, which it does not, and there are some things still up in the air, they would face the winner of the Dodgers and Mets coming out of the wild card round, which would be interesting. But the Mets, the Dodgers are in the playoffs. The Mets are no sure thing, and there's a lot still to be decided in the National League. With that, and with so much to happen this weekend, we can all be kind of relaxed and just kind of kick back and enjoy a little bit of stakes-free baseball from the outside because the Phillies have taken care of their business. And to talk about that business and what lies ahead, both for the end of the regular season and the Phillies' first-round playoff situation, let me welcome in my co-host. He is the Athletics Phillies beat reporter. He is Matt Gelb. Matt, good morning. How was your weekend and week?
It's great. I wanted to apologize first that we are doing this episode so late in the week.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think in Phillies land, there's not a lot to talk about the games. It's a weird thing, right? Because you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and then they get they win the division in Los Angeles, and the games after that have not carried a ton of meaning. And I think there's been some things to nitpick on, but mainly I think your concern is getting out of this without any sort of injury. And we see it, I feel like, on a daily basis. There's contenders who somebody gets banged up. The Padres just lost Ramon Laureano for the wild card series with a fractured finger. And it's why, you see JT Realmuto take a foul tip off of one of his fingers, and immediately panic because that would be a significant loss. And seems like everything is fine there. Bruised finger. He could play one of these games this weekend. We're taping this Thursday morning. I'm not so sure they're going to play Thursday night. It's very possible the Phillies end up playing 161 this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that would be totally fine by me. A little extra rest for some of the guys who are not on the injured list and who are trying to get themselves right for the division series. Yeah, Matt, it's been a good month. I know there are some... We're getting to that point now where I think people are looking for the reasons to be nervous about the playoffs. Every fan base does this. The Phillies are playing really well. They are 28 games above 500. There's a good chance they win 95 or 96 if they sweep this last series. They probably won't because they're going to be in rest status. But
right now, they're in position they're essentially going to be. They will have home field over every team in the field except for the Brewers. So
Yeah.
if they get to the World Series, they will have home field over every possible American League champion. It's not a bad spot to be.
It is not a bad spot to be in. And so you look at any small thing that might be a bump in the road along the way. People are starting to wring their hands a little bit about Joan Duran, who's let up a run in 3 of his last 4 appearances. I don't care personally. I do not care about that. That does not bother me. I know people are well within their rights to see that and think, oh no, is he diminished now? And no, he's human. He's fine. He's getting his work in, especially lately. I don't care.
That's
It was a
kind of
low
how I see it
leverage
with a lot
spot
of
in
these guys.
Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm the Arizona one especially. Like he had not pitched for quite some time. They wanted to get him some work. The Marlins won, like tough home run to give up there.
Yeah, whatever. Like,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to it's hard to. I guess I'd say is like it's easy to read into things here, but I think it's these games mean more to certain guys than others, and to me, and we'll talk about him, but like Alec Bohm, coming back after missing, 10 days with an injury, like these games do mean a lot to him because he's trying to get his timing down and also just feel good going into October because he's missed time. But for other guys, specifically Duran, I think there's a lot of conservation of energy here.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you can look at a hung 2-strike curveball to Andy Pages as something more representative of what could happen.
He shook off.
Yeah,
yeah, and also like he shook off JT, and that was a bad pitch. Have we not talked since? When was the last time we talked?
Well, yeah, it's been 10 days. It's been, I think, since before that game, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Has anything happened since then?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what's happened since then, Matt. The Phillies clinched a bye. That's what's happened, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what is still yet to be decided in Phillies land first, namely as it relates to some of the health and status and availability of some of these guys as they come into this final weekend and get themselves ready for that series, which will come up in about a week. The first thing, just to get right into that, I think we need to do our regularly scheduled Trea Turner update. We're coming up on that targeted last series of the year where we had all hoped from the outside that Turner would get a little game action in before the playoffs, before the season ended, just to, get back out there, get a little feel. He's going to be off again, like the rest of the team is, for about a week. Matt, what's the latest on Trea Turner and his availability for this weekend? And then, of course, for the playoff series.
I still think he's going to play in 1 or 2 games this weekend. They brought in a bunch of minor league pitchers, Tommy McCollum, Andrew Walling, and Dan Harper to throw to Turner. And so the last 2 days, he's taken some ABs against those guys. And he's, running probably close to about 80%. And that would be the issue right now, is that if he does play this weekend, he probably would not be running at full speed. I think they would tell him to be pretty judicious with how he approaches it. If anything, the goal of activating him this weekend would just be for him to get real at bats, because after this weekend, the Phillies, of course, will be off for 5 days. Their first game will be Saturday, October 4th, and that would be a long time without seeing true live pitching. And they've tried to simulate it in these controlled sessions during the day, which I think is smart, getting the minor league pitchers here to give him some looks. But I do think that he could benefit from, again, even if he's not at treating it at full speed, full whatever, just seeing some live pitching. And I do think he will get a game or 2 of that. He's probably going to win the batting title regardless. Even if he goes over, I think he will win the batting title.
Which sets the Phillies up to have that that thing Jason Stark has had his eye on, the split triple crown, with Turner taking the batting title and Kyle Schwarber taking the...
I mean, just the batting title, period. I mean, the Phillies have not had a batting title since 1958.
Yeah.
Richie Ashburn. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's a long time. So it's quite an accomplishment. I know there's been a lot made about, he might be the only 300 hitter. Weird, yeah, for sure, but I don't think it diminishes. If anything, it might even just, you know, really make it a greater accomplishment. The fact that he was the only guy to do it. I mean, not a knock on him. I mean, he's the only guy might be the only guy who hits 300 this year. A qualified hitter. That's wild.
I mean, if you're a batting average proponent or you like looking at that, which is cool, it's obviously a great integral statistic. Wouldn't you feel like it gives a little bit of value back to that if he's the only one to do it? Like,
Yes.
doesn't the
Yes.
rarity of it, elevates
Yes.
it again, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Along the home run lines, because Edmundo Sosa went crazy last night and hit 3 home runs. Not only had he never had a multi-homer game, he decides to skip right over 2 and just get 3.
Just ridiculous. After not playing for 12 days.
After not playing, he became the 10th Phillies player to have double-digit home runs. They tied the 2019 team for most such players in a season. It is the second time in franchise history they have had 10 players reach double digits in home runs. Otto Kemp, you're on the clock. You got to hit 2 home runs in these last few games to give the Phillies their first season with 11 guys hitting double-digit home runs. No pressure, young man. Matt, I think the offense is looking really good right now. And the fact that they have done what they have done without Trea Turner for so much of this, I'm just looking at some of these stats. In the last calendar month, they have a team slug over 500. Like, I know Kyle Schwarber's doing a lot of that lifting here, but
yes. Yes, you can go even further back than that, though, Paul. It's like since the trade deadline, which to me is an inflection point on the season. We've discussed this. The Phillies have the highest OPS in baseball. Okay, that's almost 2 months now.
That's a big deal.
821 OPS. In that span, they have the 3rd most home runs in baseball, behind only both the New York teams, Yankees and Mets. And in that span, they have scored the 3rd most runs in baseball, behind the Brewers and the Mets.
That's really good.
And this is a team, we've said it, that is built on its pitching and generally its defense, especially now they've fortified the outfield configuration. But let's not overlook what this offense has done for 2 months now, okay? This is 2 months, and we're not talking about dead of summer, beating up on bad teams. I mean, they've faced some good pitching here, and it's also been in games with high leverage. I mean, ever since August 1st, I mean, they were at that time, they were a half game back of the Mets.
Yeah.
So in that span, this offense has essentially powered them to, a comfortable final week here, not having to worry about certain things. And I know that a lot of attention has been given to certain things, the rotation, the bullpen, Kyle Schwarber, but I think as a whole, it is important to recognize what this group has done as a lineup for almost 2 months now, because it's pretty significant.
It is. How much time did I spend, and you as well, saying this team will be carried by its rotation? The rotation is what's going to do it.
Still will, we think.
For sure. Especially early in the season when they were, they had a team OPS of 700 or something in April and May, something really, really low. And you're just like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's just kind of what they're going to do because their identity is pitching. And of course, since Zach Wheeler is out, all they've done is continue to pitch. And now the offense has decided to pick them up too. It is what you want to see out of a well-rounded team going into the playoffs, right? What more?
But right now, right. Because right now you can close your eyes and you can say, I can envision them winning an October game in X amount of ways. How many different ways? A lot of different ways right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a matter of you got to keep the opposing team to 3 runs or less anymore. I mean, sure, yes, you want to do that, of course. But now you have faith in this lineup to really just kind of pull it together and have a good chance of erupting on any given night. Playoff
and whether it's a
not.
long ball or not. Yeah. And I think to that point, I mean, I think probably the thing that sticks out the most to me since we talked ball is what Alec Bohm has done since he's come back. And it's not just the numbers that he's put up. It is the quality of contact. It is the fact that he is pulling the ball with authority. He's barreling balls. This guy looks healthy. He's hit in every game since he's come back. He's 11 for 22 with 5 extra base hits. No strikeouts. I mean,
yeah.
okay, like, sure. I mean, he hasn't faced maybe the best pitching, but like these aren't accidental hits. I mean, he's putting really good swings on the ball right now. And I think him being back, it obviously makes them better if he is this Alec Bohm, but it just allows him to do things with a lineup that I think um, really make it a compelling group of 9. And I think Bohm will be batting cleanup when the full lineup is on the field. He's been batting third the last few nights because Harper's been sick and Real Muto is out of line, etc. But I think, Paul, like right now, you're looking at against a righty, okay, in the playoffs. You're looking at Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Marsh 5th, Bader 6th, Real Muto 7th, Kepler 8th, Stott 9th. I guess you could flip Kepler and Real Muto if you wanted to make sure you had right, left, etc. But that is a decent lineup right now in this snapshot of time.
Yeah, I don't really need to add much more to that.
I mean, Bader would be batting 6th, right? I mean, Bader's probably going to bat 6th, and he's cooled off a little bit the last few days, and like,
sure,
he's clearly not their leadoff hitter, right? I mean, like, I think it worked for a little stretch here, and like, kudos to them for trying it, and kudos to him for embracing that role. A lot of strikeouts, but he's also, that's fine. They want him to pull the ball and take his A swing, and if he strikes out, that's fine. But if he rips into a few extra base hits to the whole side, great. Marsh to me is a really compelling figure here. I think batting him 5th is not crazy. What do you think is the highest that he's ever batted in a postseason game is, Paul, over the last 3 years?
Oh, that's a good question. My initial guess was to say, well, he's usually buried, isn't it? Would it be like 7th? Would 7th be the highest?
And it's mostly 8th and 9th. He batted 7th once, I think, last in the NLDS last year, but that's it. That's the highest he's batted in a playoff game. And that's not to say that they'll be relying on him more in this October, but I think he has put himself in a spot where he can be a middle of the order guy. Like, batting him 5th, like, do you cringe at that? Do you bat an eye at that? I mean, like, that is where he should be, is it not?
I don't have many reservations about a lot of the guys in this lineup right now. I really don't.
Wow, what a thing to say. Let's make sure we clip that. To make sure we can come back to that. Let's see how that ages.
Yeah, just don't let them face Brandon Pfaadt, and I'm sure they'll be okay. Look,
Jose Quintana.
Yeah, it's not a matter of saying everybody is cured, and I think we're actually watching a lineup of 3 to 4 win players up and down the lineup that's going to stroll to the plate and work a 7 or 8 pitch at bat, or get the barrel to the ball every time up, because we all know that the pitching in the playoffs is going to be up to the task, right?
No doubt.
And there's probably going to be at least one game where this lineup is held down, even as well as they're all hitting, even as well as they've played over the last, really, like you said, almost 2 months. It's going to happen because everybody raises their game, pitchers included. But if I look up and down this lineup and I think about everybody getting healthy, and I think about what a full strength lineup would look like for this team going into the playoffs, and I'd like to get one brief look at it. If Turner is able to play this weekend and everybody is available, even if they get subbed out by the 4th inning or whatever, I'd like to be able to get one more look at the full strength lineup one time through or so. If you put that together, and we're talking about Brandon Marsh hitting, 5th or 6th or whatever it is, I'm feeling good. Sure, there's a potential for a strikeout. Okay, yeah. We don't know if he's fully cured against lefties either, just talking about Marsh in particular. We don't know if Bryson Stott is fully cured against lefties, even though he hit the longest home run of his career off a left-handed pitcher last night against the Marlins. There are unknowns. Nobody's perfect. But I feel like, on the whole, all of these hitters are playing their best baseball of the year over the last 2 months. And if you can't feel good about the way a team looks going into a playoff run, even with a week's worth of time off coming up, I don't know what else you need in order to feel like you've got a shot with this lineup against whatever pitcher you might face be it a Brewers pitcher, be it a Dodgers pitcher, be it a Mets pitcher, be it a Diamondback or Red pitcher if they sneak in. And oh, by the way, if the Marlins win tonight and the Mets lose, and the Marlins sit 3 back of the Mets, those two teams play 3 games in the final series of the year, and the season series is currently tied at 5. So if the Marlins win out, they could finish ahead of the Mets. Just say it.
Oh, you're just saying finish ahead of the Mets. Yeah, I mean, the Marlins aren't making the playoffs, but yes.
Yeah. No, they would need other help too. But yeah, they can finish ahead of the Mets.
I know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel good. I do. I feel as good as I could feel about a team about to embark on a playoff run. I'm going to be nervous as hell. I always am. I'm going to be worried about some of these guys burying themselves early in counts. I'm very curious to see when Bryce Harper gets back, if he continues with this first pitch swinging thing. I don't know if it is a long con, but I worry about auto swinging in the playoffs. Okay, that's one thing. How much can I worry about that? He's Bryce Harper. He battles back from those things. Like everything is okay right now, and I will not poke holes in that. I'm not going to go searching for rust on the silver linings. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, and I think because you could poke holes in every single team right now, and opponents are poking holes in the Phillies, no doubt, as they try to do their advance reports and scouts from all the NL contenders have been following around the Phillies now for about a week, and yes, I think you can poke holes in the Phillies, and we could do that, but you also can poke holes in every single team that is qualified for this tournament in October. It is crazy to say, but even without Zach Wheeler, I think the Phillies enter this tournament as either the favorite or one of the favorites. And just to say that out loud is outrageous, because we know how important Zach Wheeler is to this whole thing. Could you even imagine if? Yeah. I think the pressure would be almost too much, because like if they had Wheeler right now, I mean, they would be overwhelming favorites in my mind to win the World Series.
I agree. Yes.
Overwhelming. And rightfully so. But they do not have Zach Wheeler. And I believe they will go into October with a rotation of Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Jesus Luzardo, no matter who they play. And the Phillies have not committed to that yet, because they have said that they do want to see what the matchup is in the NLDS. I think that's kind of posturing, because at this point, I do think their best path forward is the 3 lefties. And if you have to have a shorter leash on Suarez or Luzardo or both, then so be it. But I think that is their best path forward. And credit to Jesus Luzardo for finishing the season the way he did. His ERA, and I know it's not always the best measurement of a pitcher, but his ERA ended up starting with a 3.92. And the last time that his ERA started with a 3 was before the blowups, right? So for months now, he has chipped away at this thing, and it has not been a straight line, but he has chipped away, and he got to career highs in strikeouts and innings pitched, and he got the ERA below 4. And this is a guy who, no doubt, has potential pitfalls in a playoff game, but you feel pretty good handing them the ball in a Game 3.
Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me, which the New York Times Wirecutter has named their top pick for data removal services. New York Times, of course, distributes The Athletic. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. That's you. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to deleteme.com/hit and use promo code HIT at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/hit and enter code HIT at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/hit, code HIT. I mean, just since the blowups, right, which happened in consecutive starts at home against Milwaukee, on the road against Toronto, back in early June, that ended. The 19 starts he made since then, he continued. He was not hurt. He did not need the phantom IL that I personally thought about and was.
We all thought he was going to need to be managed.
I was expecting that all year, and he never needed it. So he made 19 starts, 111 innings, over 5 innings a start, 133 strikeouts to 33 walks, 10 home runs allowed in 111 innings.
Yeah.
The ERA in that stretch is about 3.5, but the FIP is under 3, 2.86. He proved that he, in fact, did not need to be babied. Like he said, he did not need special treatment. He did not need the kid gloves. He made 32 starts. He rebounded from one of the worst stretches I think any major league pitcher would dread to go through, giving up 20 runs in 2 starts. It's bad. That would derail a lot of people for an entire season. That would give me serious doubts about what I'm doing, especially coming off an injury. Oh no, am I losing it again? Was the first half like a mirage? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to tweak my delivery? Do I need to tweak my release point? Am I tipping? I would have thoughts going through my head, and I would really have to navigate my way through that. Maybe he did too, but regardless of whether he did, he navigated it. He made it work. He made it work and then some. He finished on a wonderful note. He has turned into one of the better acquisitions in the entire sport this year, bar none.
Yeah.
And
what's amazing to me is in September, his average fastball velocity is the highest it's been in any month this year. Just by a little tick. I mean, it's not like a huge jump, but it is higher. I mean, he's averaged 96.7 on the fastballs, and it was 96, 2, 96.3, 96.5. So it's not a huge jump, but he is finishing strong. And you see it in the stuff, and you see it I thought Wednesday's start was impressive just because he threw all of his pitches about the same amount. It was almost an even distribution among four different pitches. The sweeping slider, the sinker, the 4-seamer, and the changeup. And the changeup to me has really come on here in September. And he got some really ugly swings on the changeup on Wednesday night. The sweeper obviously has been a I don't want to overstate, but I mean a career-changing pitch for him. I mean, it has made him a different pitcher. It has made him more effective deeper into games. He has more paths to get hitters out. I don't know how I think you trust him. I don't know how much I trust him, right? I mean, all this said, he has a propensity to run deep counts. He will lose command at times. But I think he's proven that even if he has a slow start to an outing, or if he needs a lot of pitches early in the outing, he can find his way out of it. And that is because he has these different pitches to go to, different paths. So we'll see how much of a leash they give him in October. But I mean, you could argue, if you go back and look at, Phillies history here, I mean, their Game 3 starter hasn't always been a sure thing. And I think you have to feel good about it. And Paul, how crazy, I mean, if I would have told you before the season the Phillies were going to have 200 strikeout starters and neither would be Zach Wheeler or Aaron Nola, how would you have reacted to that?
It's so funny too, because I'm looking at a couple of the pitching leaderboards as you're talking, because Luzardo's effort last night moved him into a 3-way tie for the moment for the National League lead in strikeouts with Paul Skeens and Logan Webb. And I'm like, wow, that's terrific. And you add Christopher Sanchez to that with his 204, like you said. Wow, that is terrific. Zach Wheeler had 195, and he'll end up having not pitched in a month and a half.
I know.
It's crazy.
He could have gotten to 200. Yeah.
Oh my God. But Matt, let's think about this for a second, right? The Phillies have gone into the playoffs the last couple of years with Wheeler Nola. That's the 1-2 on the marquee with the lights, and they have been the guys who have been leading the rotation. They're the ones who get the graphics and the chyrons at the start of a playoff series, and during their starts, the eyes are on them. Us as fans, we were expecting those starts to go the Phillies' way because they are the two guys at the top. They will not have Zach Wheeler because of injury, and Aaron Nola has been relegated to Game 4 if necessary duty. But if we think about it just with a change of names, how different is it really that the 1-2 now is Sanchez and Luzardo? They're different names, but they're still being led by, two guys having great years.
I still think that Suarez could break those two up. And I do think that makes a lot
Okay.
of sense.
Okay.
Because stylistically, Suarez is different than those two other lefties. And yes, there are 3 left-handed pitchers, but I do think it makes sense to break them up. Also, Luzardo has been better on the road, and I don't think you feel, and it's anecdotal, right? I mean, it's one season. It's hard to read too much into it. I do know that you want Sanchez pitching at home, and
Yes.
they'll get that for the first start of the first game of the series. But game 4, a hypothetical game 4 of the NLDS, Sanchez would be pitching that on the road. Um, I think you have Suarez in the middle between those two guys, but you're right. I mean, it is a different. It's different. I mean, it's probably the biggest difference of this team going into the playoffs as the last few teams is that Wheeler and Nola are not at the top. I think Sanchez has acquitted himself well, especially at home, and you have to feel really, really good about beginning a 5-game series with Sanchez pitching at home. That is a huge advantage, and I'm not going to look up I haven't looked up the updated record, but it's absurd. They're like, I don't know, 29-3 or something in the last 32 games that he's started at Citizens Bank Park. The changeup this year, specifically at home, hitters have a 144 batting average and 174 slugging percentage against his changeup at home. Away, I just want to give you the away stats. Away, it is 198 with a 309 slug. Still good,
Still good, but yeah.
but way better at home. And I'm not sure what the reason for that is. A couple of teams who are advancing the Phillies have asked me about this because it is something that has jumped out to them. And I don't know if it has to do with the arm angle and the backdrop or the mound. The mound has been measured. I believe the mound is the same height and, distance as
the mound.
as every other mound
Okay.
in Major League Baseball. But I think it's more just a comfort thing. Like guys will say that they like pitching on certain mounds, or maybe it's just a mental thing that they feel more comfortable on a mound than they do another mound. But he's very comfortable pitching at home, and it's especially shows in the changeup. It is a very good pitch, period. It is an exceptional, maybe the best in baseball pitch at home.
Here's one more number I'll throw out there to everybody, just as a random arbitrary search I decided to throw together here. There have been this season, as of our recording here on September 25th, there have been 112 left-handed pitchers who have faced at least 100 right-handed batters.
Okay.
Of those, 59 have allowed a slugging under 400. 400 is kind of high in the split anyway. All 3 of the Philly starters are there. They're under 300, under 400 with the slug allowed to right-handed batters. Chris Sanchez is 27th at 348. Ranger is 38th at 372. And Jesus Luzardo is in a tie for 46th at 381. They're not amazing numbers, but they're all better than average. They're all better than average in that split. These guys can handle it. Sanchez, we know he has the changeup. He can handle anybody. But Ranger and Luzardo, they can do it too. Look, I can throw numbers at the wall until you find something you like out there. You can pick anything. This is baseball. We got numbers coming out of our ears all the time. There are some important and key numbers that really should make you feel good about all 3 of these guys, even though they all throw left-handed, starting off at playoff series, basically no matter who the opponent is.
If this is the year of the lefty, then why not lean into it, I guess.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
I mean, lefties have pitched better this season than ever, especially against righties. The numbers are eye-popping. It's been decades since righty hitters have had this much struggle against lefty pitchers, so might as well.
Oh, but by the way, one more footnote to this. Matt Strom ranks 19th. He's a 327 slug against right-handed batters. That's better than Carlos Rodon and Tarek Skubal, FYI.
I think I'm biased here because I am left-handed, so.
Oh, that's right. You are. I throw a Frisbee left-handed. I do 3 things left-handed, Matt. Throw a Frisbee is one of them. Hold a phone and talk on the phone is one. I know that used to be a thing people did. I talk on the phone with my left hand. and I brush my teeth with my left hand. There you go.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, thanks. Let's get one more thing in there before we wrap up here, and I think it's a curiosity more than anything else. It's a luxury to have, really.
Watching a car crash from afar. Does anyone? They should actually there should only be 5 teams that qualify for the National League playoffs this year. They should just award the Dodgers a bye because no 6th team has merited inclusion in this tournament.
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video. Tonight, the Seattle Seahawks face the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC West showdown. Kyler Murray off to a really terrific start for the Arizona Cardinals. Can he keep up the good work to beat the Seattle Seahawks? It'll be an exciting game to show who has the most discipline on both sides of the ball. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Seahawks and the Cardinals tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
It's such a mess with those 3 teams. Assuming everybody comes back to full health with this Phillies team, which we're all expecting, it is an incredible luxury to have Edmundo Sosa as your 10th guy. He hit 3 home runs last night. But he would not be, you presume, a starting player unless ... there's some thought about still platooning him with Bryson Stott. Yes, we saw Bryson Stott crank a 440-foot home run off a lefty last night, but don't know if he's fully fixed there. And we know Edmundo can hit the ball. We know what Edmundo can do. Matt, is there any thought about platooning those two at second base in the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think they have to. And I don't think anyone's ego would be hit. I mean, I think like what Sosa has done against lefties is compelling. But again, I don't know that they're going to face a lot of left-handed pitching. If it's the Mets, it might be 0 lefties. Right. I mean, like, okay, so like if it's the Dodgers, you surely will face Snell in that series. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Kershaw's not starting. No one else is starting. I'm sure they'll try openers. They did that when we were in Dodger Stadium last week. Bonda opened one of those games and the Phillies made him pay for it. So maybe they won't do any openers. The Dodgers only have 1 lefty, Blake Snell, starting. The Reds would have Wadolo or Abbott. They would probably try to get both those guys starting in that series.
I would think so.
The Mets, I don't think they can hand David Peterson the ball again this season. He's been truly awful for months now. So is Sean Manaea. I don't know. The Mets are like, I don't know.
They really are a mess right now. It's wild.
And
on the pitching side, at least.
Who am I missing? Arizona? Does Arizona have any lefty stars? Eduardo Rodriguez. That's it.
Yeah, he did pretty well against the Phillies in this last series, but I would feel okay facing him in a playoff game.
It's fine. And then the Padres don't have any lefty starters. The Brewers, I don't think are going to have any lefty stars unless Quintana is able to come back. The Cubs have a couple potentially, but mostly they'd be facing righties. So, I mean, this whole talk about platoon stuff and everything in the outfield and at second base is certainly something to discuss, but I don't think it's going to be a major thing.
It's probably more of a matchup thing later in the game then, right?
Possibly.
Because we talked about the starters, but those teams have, some pretty good.
And I don't see them pinch hitting unless they're down. I wouldn't see them pinch hitting, for example, Sosa for Stott against a lefty. I'd have a hard time seeing that.
Well,
it would depend on the situation. It could. They could.
Bryson Stott is the better defensive second baseman, but
Stott's last 2 months have been really good. Been really good. Been really good.
Yeah. Again, it's a good problem to have. I would feel okay with either move strategically there. Either leaving Stott in and keeping his glove if it's, a tie game or they have a short lead.
Yeah.
Or bringing Sosa in if they're trying to come back and then putting him at second base because he's competent there too. It's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have.
Do you know what? Take a guess at what Stott's OPS in 163 plate appearances since August 1st is.
It's got to start with at least an 8, right?
It does.
Yeah, I'm going to say 865.
898. You want to go back even further to July 23rd. It's 190 plate appearances, 900 OPS.
Ooh, baby.
And that was right around the time that he made an adjustment. I'm not just cherry picking here. This was
right.
The last game of the Boston series. His son had just been born. He hit a home run that night. And that is around the time when he did make some changes at the plate, moved his hands down, moved closer to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
305 batting average, 379 on base, 521 slug in 190 plate appearances, 53 games.
Well, and you know what? Let's ride those good vibes because we spent a lot of time coming into this season talking about Kyle Schwarber's real improvement against lefties in 2024. And all he's done is set a major league record for most home runs hit off left-handed pitchers.
And if you ask him, and he lit up like when asked about that last night, I thought it was really cool because he doesn't like talking about himself.
Yeah.
But this specific one, meant a lot to him. Okay. 23 left on left homers, no more than anyone ever. And that is because he made some real adjustments that took years and a lot of time and a lot of thought. And he's like, I think back to when I was non-tendered, and he was basically non-tendered, not because the Cubs didn't want to pay him or didn't think he was good. It's because they thought that it was too much to pay a platoon player, because that is what he was at that point. And now he has hit more home runs this season against a lefty than any other lefty hitter has ever. That's amazing.
His season line against lefties, which will change slightly over these last couple of games, 254 average, 364 on base, 603 slug.
Amazing.
And so if we're going to ride that wave of optimism, if Bryson Stott has truly...
That's the thing is, like, there's been changes, right?
Exactly.
Trea Turner made adjustments.
Exactly.
Kyle Schwarber's made adjustments. Bryson Stott has made adjustments. Brandon Marsh, since the beginning of the season, has made adjustments. They picked up Harrison Bader, who's been the greatest hitter on earth, apparently, for them, for 2 months. This is a different lineup than it was at this time last year. It looks the same in terms of personnel, mostly. There have been some adjustments, and now we get to see if they can take him into October.
Beautiful. Good stuff. It's about as good as you can feel coming into the final week of the season. Thursday's game, a little bit up in the air, might be a cancellation, might be a 161 game season for the Phillies. But they will play the Minnesota Twins over the weekend to wrap things up and get themselves in playoff shape. Their final regular season games of the year, a highly successful regular season once again, with business to take care of in the playoffs. They will watch the wild card round, wait for their opponent. Still anybody's guess as to who the 6th seed is going to be.
There's no doubt, right, that the 6th seed, whoever it is going to be the Dodgers, right?
it's hard to just the way the poetry of this sport works. Yes, it is hard to imagine there not being an upset over the Dodgers in that round.
How many wins? How many wins is the 6 seed gonna have?
Oh boy,
82,
83.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah,
83 gets it, I think. Yeah. 83 and 79. It's bad. It's not good.
All this is overshadowing what's happening to Houston and Detroit right now.
Yes,
Detroit is still going to make the playoffs because Houston has been almost as bad.
Disintegrated. Seattle has lapped them. Cal Raleigh, who is going to finish second in the MVP race. Deservedly so. Aaron Judge is great. I don't think he's going to win, but he hit his 60th home run.
Unbelievable.
60.
I think I knew it had been the Mariners have been in the playoffs obviously since 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I realized that they hadn't won the West since 2001. That's wild.
And the Astros have a 10-year playoff streak that's on the line here too. I think the last time they missed was 2016.
Detroit goes to Boston for the final weekend and Houston goes to Anaheim. So maybe the Astros sneak in.
Detroit falling apart.
Oh my God. Detroit is they're starting Troy Melton this afternoon.
The rookie. Yeah.
Isn't he a reliever or is he a starter?
Well, yeah. He's only made 3 starts.
Yeah.
So I guess he's going to open. Yeah, the American League is an entirely different beast. It's
I
setting us up for.
I can't begin to talk about the American League. What the hell is happening there?
The AL East is a tie. Like the Central is flopped. The West.
The Yankees are going to end up with the 1 seed, right?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid over there, but it leaves for some interesting baseball for us to watch because the Phillies are locked in. They're not going to get the 1 seed. They don't have the tiebreaker, and the Milwaukee's magic number for the number 1 seed is 1. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
The Phillies have a bye. Who cares? Get yourselves ready. Get the guys they're working. The results mean very, very little. They've already meant very little for a couple of games now. They mean almost nothing for these last few games for the Phillies. It's just about getting work in, looking good, and staying.
And maybe Kyle Schwarber tying,
maybe Kyle Schwarber gets 58. I don't know. That would be cool. That's one of the results that would matter.
Just Ryan Howard after the game last night. He was fired up. Yeah,
I love.
He was fired up.
I miss him. All right, that'll do it for this episode. It's fun. It's good. It's nice to be in a good mood. I'm going to carry this with me as long as I can until I start getting anxious at this time next week. I know that's coming. Matt, as we look to wrap up here, I'm sure you'll be keeping an eye on preparations for this team as they keep themselves sharp for whoever they may face. You and I will be back once the regular season wraps up to get more, solid intel on who the Phillies may actually be facing, because we still don't know one of their potential opponents. It's anybody's guess. So
I have been grading the over-unders. I know some people have been asking me about that. If you did participate, I think we had 64 entries.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But there's only about 4 left that I cannot grade yet.
Okay,
which is pretty amazing that 4 have come down to the end, and it's tight. There's a good competition here. So
good stuff. All right, so yeah, we will catch you all then, just in a couple of days. Again, because today is Thursday, it'll either be late Sunday or early Monday. You'll know when it hits the feed. In the meantime, enjoy these last couple of games. Enjoy the Phillies in their semi-spring training vibe. Enjoy watching other teams see who wants a playoff spot less than their opponents. And get ready for some playoff baseball. Red October is around the corner. I don't know about you all, but I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you for listening to Phillies Therapy, part of the Believe Podcast Network. For Matt, I am Paul, and we'll catch you again soon.
That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined.
And now, a next-level moment from AT&T Business. Say you've sent out a gigantic shipment of pillows, and they need to be there in time for International Sleep Day. You've got AT&T 5G, so you're fully confident. But the vendor isn't responding, and International Sleep Day is tomorrow. Luckily, AT&T 5G lets you deal with any issues with ease, so the pillows will get delivered and everyone can sleep soundly, especially you. AT&T 5G requires a compatible plan and device. Coverage not available everywhere. Learn more at att.com/5G network.
Starting a business can be overwhelming. You're juggling multiple roles: designer, marketer, logistics manager, all while bringing your vision to life. But for millions of businesses, Shopify is the ultimate partner. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Build a stunning online store with Shopify's ready-to-use templates. Boost content with AI-powered product descriptions, page headlines, and enhanced photography. Marketing is easy with built-in tools for email and social media campaigns. Plus, Shopify simplifies everything from inventory to shipping and returns. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try. Shopify.com/try.